Paula's dream job, I'm pretty sure, would be to work for the FBI. What other career would I like? This one took me a while to think about. I'd probably say something to do with baseball or Major League Baseball. I don't have an exact job. A famous person would probably be, I honestly do not have a person that she would want to be that I can think of, but I think she would just love to spend the day with Jimmy Stewart if given the chance. If I won the lottery, I think I would probably go ahead and try to buy a house and make sure it has the things that both Paul and I have talked about wanting to have in a house that we want eventually. If I could live anywhere in the world, it would probably be in a house either in the mountains somewhere or out in the country, so kind of far away from the city.
Anywhere in particular? Like anywhere?
That was tough. I could not think about a specific like country or state. Yeah, that's a tough one. I did like Colorado, maybe like Wyoming or like Northern California, I should say. But yeah.
Not at the K.
I would not live there. It's a little too hectic to actually live there. But she might want to live there. That might be something we have to actually argue about, but we'll find out. If Paula could travel anywhere, she would go to London. That's probably the easiest question on this list for me to answer.
Well, she already talks like this, so, you know, just got to throw a British accent in there.
Yes, she does. Paula's favorite color, I think it's blue. I don't think she's ever told me what her favorite movie is. She just says she loves movies in general. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be either White Christmas or Harvey. Ice cream, if we're talking flavor, it's probably just vanilla. If we're talking a store or a brand, that gets a little harder. She loves McDonald's ice cream and Wendy's Frosties. So I guess if I had to pick her ice cream and had to go to one spot, I'm probably going to pick whichever one of those I'm nearest to. Paula had a free Saturday. I think she would probably like to do what we did for her birthday last year, where we started off, I think we went to Panera in the morning for a couple hours, had lunch, were outside playing tennis, then went on a walk around the city for a while, went to a movie, had dinner, and then came back to the house and spent the evening in watching a second movie. Now, after we've been dating for over a year, I might throw a baseball game in there. She might throw a baseball game in there, but the last I can remember her perfect day was that. At a free Saturday, I would probably start it off. I think her and I would go out to breakfast somewhere. Maybe take a walk somewhere, just stay outside for a little while, have lunch, try to go to a baseball game in the afternoon, and then come back home for a dinner and barbecue grill out with a small group of friends that we have in common, and kind of end the evening that way. Our first conversation after exchanging what we did for a living was about how to throw a frisbee and my inability to be able to teach her how to throw one in that moment. Or her inability to learn how to throw one, whichever way you want to see it. Our first date, I'm going to call, for this question, I'm going to say it was the Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert. She might question that was our first date, but there are times where if you get her talking about it, she'll slip and call it a date. So I'm going to use that as our first date.
Okay, well, here's a question I've been wondering. Did you consider that your first date with Paula?
I did. I paid for the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know even as I'm saying that she's going to have a rebuttal to everyone in the room, but I did pay for the whole thing and ask her to go. So we'll let the general public decide about whether that's a date or not.
No, we will. Right after this, we're going to have a vote. We'll let you know what we decide.
Fifth date, I can't remember exactly which would have been considered a fifth date, but it was about the time that we spent the day together for her birthday. So her birthday was 25th of March, and we both took the day off of work the next day and spent the day together, which was the day, her perfect day actually, that I described earlier. She had a free Saturday. So I think that was I'm going to say that was about her fifth date officially. Favorite date's a hard one to think about. There have been a lot of good ones. I would say the concert, Transfer and Orchestra, the first one, is probably the best one, mainly because it was the first one that got things going. Yeah. Her most repeated phrase, I've got a couple. Coon's age is one that she says a lot. But recently I've noticed that she says to be really quite honest. She says that a lot.
Yeah.
As, you know, just as like something after she's saying something else, to be really quite honest.
To be really quite honest, I'm surprised you didn't mention poop or crap on a stick, because that's the one that I hear almost every single day.
That too. I did not think about that.
But were you just trying to edit this?
No,
this was a ladies'
that's a good
event.
point. I never even thought about that one. But that was, that's up there. A habit of mine that would drive her crazy, or does drive her crazy. I know when I bite my fingernails, that annoys her. If we're sitting together and I do it, she will definitely grab my hand and try to keep me from doing it. So I'm pretty sure if I was going to try and annoy her by doing something, I would bite my fingernails when I'm sitting next to her. This was a hard one to pinpoint a moment for. I would say, if I could remember, there have been a lot of instances where I kind of had a passing thought that I could spend the rest of my life with this girl. And I would say it might have, one moment that sticks out might have been our first Royals game we went to last summer, where we went, she was into it, she was interested, and like I showed her, you know, how do you keep score of a baseball game, and she was really into that, and I kind of was like, this is pretty interesting that this girl actually is not just doing this because I like it, she actually was into it herself. So that kind of sticks out as a moment that kind of made me take a step back. I love most about her. I would say probably her humor, her sense of humor, the way that I noticed that before I asked her out, that we kind of had a way of, like if we were at a party or if we left the party, if we were to talk about something that happened at the party, we tended to think the same way about what happened, or like make light of something that did happen. And we're generally on the same page with those things, which I've kind of found rare in my time to find people that are like that. So that's tops for me. Favorite physical feature would be her legs. I've answered this question before, so this is it. So I'm almost 100% positive she's going to get that right. Best part about wedding planning is nothing specific. It's whenever we can check something off that it's been taken care of, that it's done or that it's bought, whatever you want to call it, whenever we can get something taken care of and get it off our minds. Part about wedding planning, when I first read through these questions, I was going to say figuring out the guest list, but after the last week or two, I'm going to say figuring out what bow tie the wedding party is going to wear. We cannot find a bow tie that matches her bridesmaids' dresses to save our lives. So if anyone has a bow tie that they know of that matches her bridesmaids' dresses, please give us some details, because we need them.
I've seen no less than 3, maybe 4 different ones here.
Even ordered some from Great Britain that did not match, so now I've got to send them back. Best thing about getting married, besides the physical side of marriage, I would say probably taking trips together. We've taken a few over the last year, and they've been really enjoyable. And I feel like they will be better in some ways when we're married. That way we don't, we're not 4 months into dating and taking a trip together. We're actually a married couple taking a trip together. So I think that's probably one of the top things I'm looking forward to. So my last thought, I was just made aware that this shower is a round-the-clock themed shower, which when I heard that makes me think I'm going to be very interested to see the type of things that Paula comes away with for the 11 p.m., midnight, 2 a.m. time slot. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, that's all I got for her. Hope she has a good time.
We do too. Thanks, Adam.